There's a new me coming out, and I just have to live, and I wanna give. I'm completely positive. I think this time around I am gonna do it like you never knew it. Oh, I'll make it through. The time has come for me to break out of the shell. I have to shout that I am coming out.
Welcome to the show, Never Too Late Ever, where we focus on making the next chapter, or this very chapter of your life, the very best chapter ever. I am your host, Lorraine Hoving from It's About Time, and I am thrilled you are joining us today. This day will change your life. Open your heart, your ears, and listen. You will find a gem, and maybe even something that will change your life today. So last week, if you remember, I spoke from a course that I'm writing, and I want to continue that because I thought that it went really well, and there were some things that I felt that were very pertinent to the audience right now. And so today I am tackling another one of the pillars actually in my online course, and it is called Upgrade Your Brain. Now, I've always had a fascination with the brain because I've always noticed that sometimes I do things rote and I haven't even thought about it. Like, you know how when you buy a green car or a green Volkswagen, say you bought a green Volkswagen, and suddenly you never noticed it before, and suddenly there's a name for it, and it slipped my mind, but there's a name for it. It starts with an R. See, things slip your mind when you get older. But anyways, especially when you're talking about the brain. So this is it. When you buy something, then you all of a sudden notice all the green cars on the freeway. You didn't notice them before, they'd pass you by, but you notice every green Volkswagen there ever was, even on the side streets. And it's because your brain suddenly is aware. And so I've often thought about all the things that are in our subconscious, which is about 90% of our behavior comes from our subconscious. Only 10, maybe to 20% comes from our conscious brain. So I've always been fascinated because sometimes have you ever done something and you went, now why did I do that? Or there are times when I've come home on the freeway and all of a sudden I passed where I was supposed to go off, even though I've gone there like 50 or 100 times in the last 3 or 4 months. All of a sudden I missed the turn because my brain was thinking about other things, and I wasn't aware in the conscious. And so a lot of our behavior comes from our subconscious. So what can we do about our subconscious? So today I want to talk about upgrading your brain. And this is some content that I wrote for my online course. So listen in, this is going to be good. If an egg is broken by an outside force, life ends. But if broken by an inside force, if the egg is broken from an inside source, life begins. The little chick comes out. Great things, listen to this, great things begin from the inside. And this is from the author Jim Quick of Limitless. If you want to learn about your brain, this book, Limitless, is excellent. The human brain has over 100 billion neurons, and each neuron is connected to 10,000 other neurons. Our brain is the most complicated object in the whole known universe. And I think we know that. Our brain is extremely complicated. Sometimes we'll say, no, it's pretty simple, but actually it's very complicated. I would love to see inside our brains all those well-packed pathways that we continue to travel down endlessly. The good news is, miraculously, we can retrain our brain. That's what I'm excited about, because we can actually retrain our brain. So if you think it's hopeless, it's not hopeless. There's hope. We can retrain it, but it does take some work. We can mobilize our thoughts and practice in new ways of thinking. We can reshape our nerve cells and even change the way our brain works. There is hope for you, and there's hope for me. If we exercise our brain in the same way we exercise our body with positivity, we can retrain our brain. It really is literally like a muscle. When we apply regular mental activity directed towards our brain will strengthen. So you know how you strengthen your muscles when you exercise. And if you do it over a long period of time or over months and you are consistent with it, you will strengthen that muscle. We can do that with our brain, and that's pretty amazing. And I'm going to tell you, as we get older, how important is that we continue to strengthen our brain, that we continue to exercise it, whether we exercise it by reading, however we decide to exercise our brain, but we need to exercise our brain every day to strengthen it. The truth is simple. If we exercise our brain in the same way that we exercise our body, it will strengthen. And if you focus, whatever you focus on, it will grow in your brain. If you focus on happiness with your thoughts and your feelings, you will strengthen happiness pathways. I see them as all little pathways in my brain, these little tiny roads and paths that I used to remember as a child going in the woods, and these well worn out paths. And yes, if you focus on stress, well, you see, you can focus on happiness and that will increase. Or if you focus on stress with your thoughts and feelings, you will strengthen your stress pathways. Now, I want to talk to you out there. Some of you are more inclined to be anxious, worried. It's not something that I'm inclined to be. My personality is more, I look in the positive. Sometimes I take too many risks because I don't think of the consequences, so I don't worry as much. But for you that stress about everything, just remember, when you continue to stress out about situations, you are creating a path. You are creating some big, deep ruts in the road. And so then your brain naturally, subconsciously goes back to that. You can retrain it. What you focus on will become your pattern. Patterns can be hard to break, but thank God it is not impossible. I actually thank God it's not impossible. These pathways are the basis of your habits, thinking, feeling, and acting. So all these pathways in your brain, they are based on your habits, what you think about, what you feel, but they can be changed. They become, if you go down these paths too long, they become what you believe is your reality, and they influence why you do something or why you don't. So I'm not an overly anxious person, so I take risks. So that's kind of my little pathway. You may be stuck in ruts of stress. And so the reason you do not do some things is because you've learned the hard way that didn't turn out. So you keep going down that road of being stressed when new situations come up. But we can change it. Think of a well-worn path in the forest, like your brain pathways, like the forest as I was a child. As you focus on something, your thoughts, feeling, and behaviors, the path continually strengthens until it is a well-worn pathway. In fact, your behavior comes automatic. There's hope. Remember, there's hope. The powerful news is that you can make your desired changes. If you strengthen the neural pathways, you can almost change anything. Like the worn out habits and behaviors that you have had for years will be the most challenging to change. Your pathway now has grooves and a memory. Yes, we know that. It has a memory. So when things happen to you, you react a certain way because that's how you always react. But you can change it. I promise you this because I've done it. Stress to your brain is a path of least resistance. I want to talk, I'm emphasizing stress because it really does havoc on our brains and on our physical body. Stress will sabotage even your best of intentions. Stress is the saboteur of a healthy brain. Think about that. The stress you put on yourself, that is the saboteur of a healthy brain. And we want healthy brains as we get older. The brain will always change by what it is most influenced by. If you have continual chronic stress, the logical brain will be highly influenced by the emotional brain. So in other words, when you have chronic stress and you stress out about things, it will react to the emotional side. Now, I'm a very emotional person, and I work with that emotional side so that I'm not reacting at every little thing. It takes a little bit of work for me because I'm very emotional and my feelings, I feel them. But anyways, what happens with chronic stress, you're not thinking logically, you're listening to the emotional side. And we want to get to the point where we're thinking with the logical brain a little more often. The logical brain is highly influenced by the emotional brain. Amazingly enough, will change in structure with stress. Your brain literally, I've read this a few times, literally will change structure because of stress and how you react to it. That is how powerful stress is. And can you imagine for the other parts of your body? So we want to get rid of stress as much as we can and form a new pathway. When you make a focused effort to travel down new pathways, think of it, new pathways. When you're in the forest, go this way rather than the same old way. You begin to naturally weaken the old pathways. So if you come to that same fork and you are about to stress out and you change and go the other direction, it is amazing that you can begin to start a new path. Habits, when repeated long enough, will become automatic. It is almost like rewiring your brain. It is possible. It takes hard work. Everything in life worth going after, by the way, takes hard work. It takes intention. So intention to me is focused energy. So you need to focus on your brain, and it takes discipline. I wish I could sit here and tell you it is easy. Like losing my 120 pounds, it was not easy. There's no magic pill. There's no magic pill to rewiring our brain. It takes, once again, intention, focus, and discipline. Begin to focus on your goals daily. Visualizing your success. I've started to do this even at night. So at night when I'm laying in bed and I'm having a hard time sleeping, I focus on my success. I am still trying to lose the last of my pounds. So I will say to myself, Lorraine, you have been gracious today because my word for the year is grace. giving grace to others, and giving grace to myself. You have been gracious today. You are 100 and whatever pounds. I think my goal weight is going to be about 105, 110, somewhere in there, because I'm short and tiny frame.